Hey, what's up guys, Midge HD here. Today I'm going to be reviewing a very special model. This is the Air New Zealand DC-10-30 by Inflight in a 1:200 scale. Check the description in case you missed anything throughout this video. My Facebook, Twitter and Instagram links will be down below. I ordered this from eBay. This is my first DC-10 model and it's my 16th Air New Zealand model. Some information about Air New Zealand. The operations base is out of Wynyard Quarter in the Auckland CBD. Main hubs are Auckland International Airport, Christchurch International Airport and Wellington International Airport. Focus cities are Los Angeles International Airport and Sydney Kingsford Smith. They are founded on the 26th of April 1940 as TEAL, which is Tasman Empire Airways Limited, and renamed to Air New Zealand on the 1st of April 1965. The fleet size of Air New Zealand is, as of the 23rd of August 2016, consists of 104 aircraft. Air New Zealand operated a total of 8 DC-10s between 1973 and 1982. One of these bearing the registration ZK-NZL, which was written off and became the most famous aircraft crash in New Zealand's history, when on the 28th of November 1979 it crashed into Mount Erebus in Antarctica on one of its routine scenic journeys. This was due to the wrong parameters that had been set before takeoff, and ended up killing all 257 passengers and crew on board. Flight T901, back then in New Zealand's flight number was TE, because of the previous airline TEAL. It was then known as the Mount Erebus disaster. Back in 2009, when everything sort of became public again about the crash, I attended a private Air New Zealand memorial on its 30th anniversary. At the Waikimete Cemetery, and this is open to the public, so anyone can go visit the memorial there. It was there to commemorate those who lost their lives, and one of those being my great-great-uncle. This was the world's third deadliest DC-10 crash ever, and if you want more information about the crash, I will leave a link in the description. Destinations. Air New Zealand flies to 55 destinations across the world. From Auckland and Christchurch, mostly Auckland though, Air New Zealand operated the DC-10s to Los Angeles, Honolulu, London Heathrow, London Gatwick, Hong Kong Kai Tak, Singapore Changi, Tokyo Narita, Papeete, Avarua, Apia, Nandi, Sydney Kingsford Smith, Melbourne, Perth and Brisbane. This aircraft's first flight was on the 26th of October 1972. And delivered to Air New Zealand on the 11th of January 1973. It was the first DC-10 to enter Air New Zealand's fleet. It was then sold to PALC and leased to American Airlines on the 21st of October 1981. And on the 21st of May 1988, it was actually damaged after aborting a takeoff and its nose wheel collapsed at Dallas Fort Worth. The aircraft was written off after that accident, but thankfully no fatalities in that crash. Alright, so let's take a look around the box here. Air New Zealand titles, picture the aircraft. Also got the Koru, mini Korus up here, which is the logo of Air New Zealand, which I hope does not get replaced because it's an awesome logo. Polished because it of course has a polished belly, like a lot of airlines back then did. Boeing license, because McDonnell Douglas is now owned by Boeing, and Flight 200 as well. On the back of the box, they did a double release. One was a Philippine Airlines DC-10 as well, which I don't really I don't like the double model boxes, unless one was a special livery but of the same airline, if you get what I'm talking about. But, because they're two different airlines, I don't really like the boxes like this. But anyway, on the bottom of the box, and then on the top of the box, we have the Philippines model as well. Got the card that comes with in-flight models. They don't have the how many were made number. on there, so it just says there 120 made. So this is very, very limited. It's such an expensive model now because it's so rare. This was number 40 out of 120. And there is the model. Alright guys, the model is now out of the box, and we're going to start at the cockpit windows on the port side. Right, so we have the cockpit windows, window wipers, pitot tubes and static ports. Also have two gold logos here because just before Air New Zealand received their first DC-10, they were two different airlines. The first logo here, that's the teal logo, and here is NAC. So teal was the International Airline of New Zealand, and NAC are both different airlines, by the way. Completely different, no affiliation whatsoever at the time. And NAC was the domestic airline. And once the government got majority stake in Teal, they merged it with NAC, therefore creating a government-owned Air New Zealand. L, part of the registration on the gear door. The former Air New Zealand titles. Really, really nice titles, those. Air New Zealand flag. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention on the box, should have mentioned it when I was showing you the box, but it has the Australian flag, which is, you know, I mean, how can you get it wrong? You put it correct on the model, but on the box you don't copy the model. I mean, really, how difficult is it to find a New Zealand flag? Anyway. And then we have these beautiful General Electric CF6-50 C2 engines. Also got the colours on the engine there. We have engine strakes on either side of the nacelle, and the blades do spin. And wonder if we have any. No landing lights, but that's okay. Continuing along the wing, we come to the wingtip where we have the red navigation light. Back onto the fuselage. We have the registration number ZK-NZL or Zulu Kilo November Zulu Lima. The bulk bin door. And then the Air New Zealand Koru on the tail with the number 2 engine. And there's the rear of the engine. The APU on this aircraft was located, I'll show you in a little bit, but it's not located here, of course, because there's no exhaust. It's located underneath the aircraft. And now to the cockpit windows on the starboard side. Teal and NAC logos. Also, you might be able to just notice right here, they got air intakes, naked ducts right there. Obviously, it's a perfect place to put them because you got the air coming directly at you, so you're going to get a lot of that, ram air. That helps because, well, aircraft these days usually tend to have them underneath the aircraft near the wings. Part of the registration on the gear door, Air New Zealand titles, New Zealand flag. It is backwards, but that is correct. It's supposed to be backwards on the side of the aircraft. There is the front cargo container door, the beautiful CF6 engine, green navigation light, back onto the fuselage. We have the registration number, rear cargo container door, and then the koru on the tail. Now let's take a look underneath the aircraft. Right, so there's another look at those knacker ducts. We have the nose gear, 2 antennas, Inflight 200 logo. This is a really heavy model. It's quite dense. It's really solid, which is good. I would say it's just as heavy as any of the 747 models I've got. Very strong model. Main gears, underneath the wings, flaps, slats, ailerons. Also, I think, fuel dump valve. I'm quite certain the DC-10s have had the fuel nozzles. There's another one there. Same on the side, but with the registration number, of course. Beacon light, antenna. Now, the Apu exhaust is situated right here, just like with the MD-11s. And now on top of the aircraft. Antenna, anti-collision light, flaps, slats, ailerons and spoilers. The same on this side. And the horizontal stabilizers. So, just give you a tiny bit of information about this livery. This is known as Air New Zealand's retro livery. It was introduced in 1973, and this was the first aircraft to wear this livery, because before the DC-8s were in the teal livery, and then they had it replaced with the Air New Zealand titles, but didn't wear this livery. Or at least not till after the DC-10s arrived. And all the other aircraft followed, of course, up until the 747-400s. Not long after the 747-400s were delivered, a few of them. In 1996, of course, the Pacific Wave livery came. And by the way, I feel I should mention, my granddad worked with Teal and Air New Zealand. He was a chief loadmaster. He, DC-8s, DC-10, 747, 76, everything he worked on. And the crash, an Airbus crash, was, he lost a lot of his friends on that crash. He knew a lot of people. He was at the airport waiting for this aircraft to come in. I'll show you some of the features in the meantime. And he heard about the news. A lot of the staff got the time off during that time, because they knew quite a lot of people on the flight. So, of course, you've just seen the landing gear does roll. Nothing else, no other features. No, the nose gear does not turn. No tilting landing gear. That's all fine. This is quite an old release, so I don't really expect much. But it's a heavy model, which is good, as I've said many times, which makes it a good model. I want to get a stand for this model, like the Inflight stands, like the one I reviewed for the 747. I think that would be great to display this model by using a stand. Anyway, guys, this is the review. I hope you have enjoyed. Please leave a like if you did. Comment, tell me what you think of this model. If you can find this model and you really want it, do not hesitate. You probably will not get another chance, and I know it's probably going to be pretty expensive, but if you really want this model, you gotta pay out. I should have bought it a long time ago when I had the chance to buy it cheaper, and it was much more easily accessible, but I chose not to. I don't know why, but yeah. Anyway, subscribe for more. I have a lot more reviews on the way, and please share this video so other people know about this model and they might decide if they want to get it as well. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.